Oh hey everybody, my name's Ken Brant and I'm an artist. Okay, so you have been creating art. You've been creating good art. You've gone online, you've looked at galleries, and you've looked at websites, and you believe in your heart that the work that you have created, the art that you have made, is better than what you've been seeing online and other places. And these people are making money, they're selling their stuff, but you are not. Why? Because your stuff isn't out there. There aren't enough people noticing you. So how do you get yourself out there? Okay, we followed rule number 1, we've created good art. Rule number 2, we have to take professional quality photos of our work and put them in a portfolio, a professional portfolio. One that truly represents what you have accomplished and something that you can show at a gallery or have with you at a moment's notice, and so somebody can see your work. And this serves multiple purposes. Okay, if you take quality photos of your work for your portfolio, you also have quality photos to put on your website. You also have quality photos to put on call to artists. If you go online, you'll see there's a lot of call to artists, and a lot of times they'll say, oh, send 3 images or 5 images or 10 images, and a lot of times they'll say make sure that the image is such and such a size, make sure it has the title, the medium, the size, and your pricing. So you can have all of that accomplished and ready to go at a moment's notice. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take quality photos of our work. So let's do that. I have this digital Nikon camera that I'm going to use to take photos of my paintings. I think this will do a very good job, and I think any digital camera will do a good job. What you don't want to do is you don't want to use your phone. There aren't enough settings on the phone to take a professional type photo of your work. So the first step before you take your pictures is make sure that your camera is fully charged. I just removed the battery pack from the charger and placed it in the camera, so I know I'm ready to go. Okay, your camera should have some basic settings. You need to be able to set your ISO, and ISO stands for International Standardized Organization. The International Standardized Organization is an industry scale used for measuring the sensitivity of light. So you always want to use the lowest ISO setting when taking pictures of your artwork. The higher the ISO, the grainier the picture. You want to make sure you have a good autofocus, and you also want to make sure that your camera has the ability to balance white, the color white. A lot of different color lights in a room, fluorescent lights, incandescent bulbs, LEDs, they all put off a particular tint of color that can show up and change the values and colors of your artwork. So your camera should be able to adjust for that. The next thing you'll need is a decent tripod. Tripods are relatively inexpensive, and they are very important in making sure you take high quality photos. They ensure that the camera stays still, which also ensures that for your artwork you'll have the sharpest image possible. This is just my tripod here. It's just a basic tripod, nothing special, and that's what I'll be using. Next, we want to pay attention to how we set up our artwork before we take the picture. You want to make sure that you avoid any shadows and messy areas. You see here I have my this is a portrait that I did of my wife, and I have it against a blank wall, and there's nothing else around it, so when I take the photograph there won't be anything in the photograph that's unnecessarily there. Also, when you take your photograph, make sure that you fill the frame with your artwork.
So when you place your artwork against a backdrop, always make sure you use a neutral color. White is a perfect backdrop for taking photographs of your artwork. If you use a colorful background to place your artwork onto, what could happen is the color from your background could actually reflect onto your artwork, and it can manipulate the colors within your artwork, and again, you will not be giving a true representation of your work.
The next thing you're going to want to be concerned with is your lighting for creating your professional looking photograph. What I have here is a bulb. These were about $50 a piece, and I got a couple of them. And these are for photography. It's natural lighting. It's 110, 130 volts, 50 to 60 hertz, 85 watt bulb, and these work really well. They create a nice natural light, and the photograph comes out really nice using these bulbs. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go out and buy these kind of bulbs. You can use any kind of bulb that has natural lighting. They sell them at the stores, you know, for a decent price. But you want to be careful with the different bulbs that you do get, because incandescent bulbs, fluorescent bulbs, LEDs, a lot of different bulbs put off a particular hue or tint, which could actually affect the color of your artwork in your photograph, and thus you won't be getting a true representation of your work. So that's important to keep in mind. Ideally, you would like to take photographs of your artwork outside in natural light, but first of all, the sunlight probably isn't good for your artwork, and you don't want to put it directly in the sunlight. What a lot of people will do is they'll find a shaded area outside where the light is the same throughout that area and take a photograph of their work there. But I prefer to take my photos indoors, and I'll use these bulbs here. And I just put the bulb inside the, just a regular light holder. It goes right in there, no problem. And these work quite fine. And I set them up on a little tripod here, and it's perfect for my setup here. Also, an important thing when using your lighting is a lot of times if the light is too much on your artwork, you're going to get shadows or glare or some other dabbling effect onto your photograph. What I like to use at times is I will soften the light using a reflective cover here, and this I think I paid like 25 bucks for it at a photography store, and basically it just ta-da pops up, and you can pretty much you just direct the light right at this reflects the light onto the surface of whatever you're trying to photograph, and then you're not getting a direct hit with the light, and it reduces the glares and the shadows. So this is a very handy item to have. Okay, so basically this is the setup that I have. I have the two sets of lights, my camera, and I have my artwork set up here against the wall. So let's get ready to take some photos.
First thing we need to do is make sure we clean the lens. Nice. Next, you want to make sure that your tripod is set so that your camera is aiming at the center of your artwork. In order for that to happen with my picture here, I actually had to lower the tripod a little bit to make sure that the camera was pointing directly at the center of the artwork. The next thing you want to do is make sure that if you are painting or artwork is up against the wall and at a slant, that the camera
is also slanted in the same angle as your artwork. The little armature here on the tripod moves the camera up and down so I can adjust it accordingly. And that looks about right. Next, what you'll want to do is make sure that your artwork fills the frame within the camera. And as you can see here, I have the top and the bottom filling the frame. I could tilt the camera this way and fill the frame that way, but I'm going to have to crop it either way. So I'm just going to take the pictures in the standard format, just like this. Alright? It doesn't matter how steady your hand is or how good of a photo your phone takes. Just by clicking the picture will actually cause movement and may cause your artwork to be out of focus. So always use the timer on your camera when taking pictures of your artwork. When you're taking photos of your artwork, I know it's very tempting as soon as you finish a piece of art to take a photo right away, but if you can, I mean, it's fine for Instagram to get it out there real quick, or Facebook, or whatever you're going to do, but for your portfolio or your website, you want to take all of your artwork and take all the pictures at the same time, so every painting or artwork or whatever it is you're doing will be consistently the same in each photograph. As you saw when I took that photo, you saw that there was a time where it was still taking the photo, and that's because I had it on a low ISO setting. And that's another good reason why you want to use a timer. You don't want to be holding it or jiggling the camera while it's still taking the photograph. At the lowest ISO setting, your shutter speed is going to be a lot slower. So for that reason, it's a good idea to put a timer on. Okay, so that's it for taking a high quality photo of your artwork, and now we have everything on this nice shiny disc that we can now put in our computer and edit as we need to. Crop the picture down so that it completely fills the frame, and then add any other information such as the title, the medium used, the size, and the price if you already know what you're going to be selling your artwork for. And also, that's also good information to put in there, because a lot of times I can't remember what size I painted a particular painting, and so it's nice to be able to look at the picture and that information is right on there, and I don't have to go searching for it or pull up the painting, you know, or look for the painting itself and measure it. So that's always good to do. Next time, the next video that I'll be doing, we'll be printing up our photos on high quality paper and putting them in a professional binder, along with any other pertinent information that a gallery may need to know when you're showing your portfolio. So we'll put that together. This is something that I put together a while back. It was a portfolio that I had made, and as you can see here, I printed up my pictures of my artwork and put the information on there. I put it in a relatively inexpensive binder. I mean, it looks nice. And this was probably good at the time. I think we can do better. So that's what we'll be doing in the next video. And you know, if there was any information that you liked, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time. Okay? Bye.